patterns are cool. I even made a short about making titled Pattern Mayhem, where I made tons of different patterns. But how do you make the patterns? We're gonna start with the easiest pattern, and in my opinion, that's the checkerboard pattern. Well, yeah, it makes sense. Fun fact, I could do the checkerboard pattern before I could actually solve a Rubik's Cube. I'm sure most of you watching this video probably know how to do it at this point, but if you do not, you do this move, and yep, you're already done. So I think you now see why I say that's the easiest in my opinion. But when you move on to the next odd layered cube, on the 5x5, you can actually step it up a notch. And yeah, you can make it a bit cooler. Same goes for 7x7, 9x9, and so on for every odd layered cube. But time to move on to the even layered cubes. Anyway, so just know this is you're not gonna be able to checkerboard the entire cube for this. So just choose your sides to keep blank. So yeah, just follow my set of moves. Yeah, these are pretty straightforward. You can do the same on the 4x4 if you want, just follow what I do. And yep, two sides remain unsolved, just like for the 2x2. Anyway, the exact same thing on the 6x6, so let me just real quick. Anyway, there's another, as cool as this looks, there's another method to do the checkerboard on a 4x4 and higher, but let's get into it. So we just start by doing this like a 2x2. Anyway, next we just, well, pretend it's a 3x3. And yeah, that's basically it. And if you want to do it on a 6x6, that's just follow what I do. And yeah, so we end up getting this, and here we have all the checkerboards I've made in this video. Although as much of a flex to your friends as this seems, this is not the only pattern. We still have two more. This next pattern is so insane that makes you want to hit the subscribe button. That's it. Well, you got a subscribe button and a Japan flag, but time for me to teach you how to make it. So the moves you need is, yep, that's it. And to undo that, oh yeah, and you can choose any side you want to do this. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot to tell you, it also does at the back. So yeah, although as cool as this seems, this is kind of disappointing on the 3x3 once you look at it on the bigger cubes. And before we move on to bigger cubes, I just want to point out that on the 2x2, this is impossible. So we're not gonna see the 2x2 in this pattern. Oh yeah, and I also want to point out on the bigger, on an even layered cube, since it's made for odd layered cubes, and the best you're gonna have to do is get this like that. So I'm not gonna be talking about even layered cubes for this pattern. So after 2x2, 3x3, and 4x4, the next obvious option is the 5x5. So to do the 5x5, you can do your usual business like this, or you can actually do it like this with the other layer, which makes it even cooler. And before we move on, I think now's a good time to tell you that using the dots pattern, you can make your own designs. Yep, you can move every single piece individually from the 4x4 onwards to make a unique different design. I've actually used this to make this trick to make my country flags on Rubik's cubes. Even my logo is involved in this. The only thing is when you have massive cubes from mine collection, like the 7x7 for example, and the 9x9, these cubes are just scratching the surface. Okay, I'll stop with the no colors filter. I'm pretty sure at this point you get where this is going, because the next obvious cube is the 7x7. So you can just do your normal business and then do your 5x5 business. And then after you do the 5x5 business, you can actually do it again. And I don't think I have much explaining to do at this point, so I'm just gonna show you how this would look like on a 9x9. So now it's time for a sick time lapse of me doing the dots on a 9x9. And here's the final result. And just like the 7x7, I do not think I have any explaining to do over here. So I think it's time to move on to the hardest pattern in this video, in my opinion. The last pattern is mine and probably millions of people's favorite, the Superflip. And I know if you're new to cubing, you're probably wondering how on earth you do this. It's probably not as difficult as you think it is. So first you choose whatever position you want to start. So I think I'm just gonna start with red and blue, but you start with whatever position you want. It doesn't matter. Then you do this move and this, and you repeat that. You repeat that like 4 times. Oh, sorry, it's 3 times. So yeah, but once you get this, you rotate it down to here, and then we do the same thing again. Then you rotate it down to here one more and do the same thing one more time. And that's how you get the super flip on the 3x3. And as usual, the 2x2, this is not possible at all. And on the 4x4, well, you can fancy yourself with this. But still, this is nothing compared to the bigger cubes. Come on, future debater carrot, why do you keep putting the black and white filter? Anyway, we are just gonna shove that aside and grab the next obvious cube, as I've already gone through why I can't do this on 2x2 and 4x4 and any other even layer cube, 5x5. First, you start with the usual business. Then you do it for the inner layer. Do the same rotating format just like the 3x3. And there you go. This looks even cooler than the 3x3. But to be fair, the 3x3 is smaller. But still, this is we haven't even gone through the 7x7 and 9x9, and I haven't even taught you how to do it on the Mega Minx and the Pyraminx. Yep, you can do that pattern with cubes that aren't even end by end puzzles. So I think this is getting obvious. So to not waste your time and to not make the video any longer than it has to be, time for a sick montage. So to make this pattern, you need a lot of patience, but this is how the 7x7 turned out, pretty nice. And this is how the 9x9 turned out, even nicer. Just know while I'm doing the pattern, you start from the inner layer, unlike while doing it. Then you go to the next layer. And so on. So let me real quick just now that's done, I'm gonna undo the 7x7. So let me just real quick do this cool caption. Yep, editing is cool. Anyway, you might think this is the end of the video, but for some reason, you can do this on the Pyramix and the Megamix as well. So I'm just gonna start with the Pyramix. So to do the Pyramix, this is probably the easiest. Just move this, this, and this. No, this. Then do that again and again. And yep, after 3 times, you get all the edges flipped around as well. You can even kick it up a notch just by, well, twisting all the, turning all these tips to make it look even cooler. But, well, that's the Pyramix. And it's Megamix time. The only solution for the Megamix I have for this is, well, scramble the Megamix and solve it, but the edges are flipped around. But time to do the epic time lapse of me doing it in the Superflip by scrambling and solving it. And there we go, I've scrambled it, so let the time lapse begin. So this is what you get after. And as I said, if you do not, before the video, if you do not want to do it like this, just go to that guy. I just credited Z2 as Cubing tutorial. He has a better explanation and a much faster method. But for today, this is the end of the video for today. I hope you guys are able to learn something, cause I've made so many patterns, I don't think I can even count them. I can subscribe if you learned something, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.